Aha! It always goes live so quickly. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, and happy Sunday. LAT chat rules. Please be over the age of 17 and please be kind to one another. Exclamation point. And there we go. Hello, Brandy. Nice to see you, my dear. On this beautiful Sunday, hi, Daryl Van. I am a little rough today. My voice is suffering the effects of spring. We've had a few sunshiny days in a row, which means the tree pollens are out and about, which means that my breathing passages are down and not round. Jack, oh, good to see you, my friend. And Robin, and oh my goodness, hang on, everybody is just sort of coming in. Let me move my chat over so I can actually stand a chance of seeing people. I haven't seen you in forever, Jack. It's so nice to see you. And let's see here. Let me make that smaller and move it over so that we're all combobulated and all of that. And how is everybody today? Everybody good? Connie, wonderful to see you. And good afternoon, everybody. As I said at the top here, I am sort of doing my best. The voice is suffering the effects of spring, so it's coming. We're hopefully we're going to get a little rain later this week, so that should pull the pollen levels back down. But I went out and looked at my car, and it's just covered with yellow dust, which means that if I climb in it to go somewhere and inadvertently hit that, that air conditioner or the fan, it's all going to come right into the cabin. So, oh, goody. I usually wait until I can put the top down, but I think that anyway. That's thank you. Now the book today, by the way, is Romantic Country by Eiry. I wanted to get back to this. This is the only book of hers that I've actually colored in. And the only thing I did is this one that I sort of show off all the time, where I drew in all of the background items. So if you're familiar with this book at all, you know that this picture is just the table, the chairs and the figures, and this garland. So everything else I drew in, the windows, the flooring, in other words, I took it from an outside scene and made it an inside scene. It is, quite frankly, it is one of the first things I've ever colored, and it is far and away, I think, one of the better ones. So, Kathy, and Melinda, and I'm having trouble keeping up, and everybody. So I really enjoyed coloring this. It's got a little bit of everything. I used watercolor marker or water-based markers to get sort of the silk effect on the wall. It's meant to look like silk walls. Did you know that they used to cover walls in silk? I did not know that. I always thought it was like silk wallpaper or something, but they actually used to take bolts of silk, and there was a bar at the top, and you would attach it to the bar and fold down all the fabric and attach it at the bottom, and it was the wall. And then of course all the decorative woodwork, and then I had to decide why they were inside and not outside, and it was because they wanted to have their picnic and it was raining outside, so I had to depict that. This is what happens when you have way too much time on your hands and a little bit of creativity. So, but I especially love my grandfather clock. This is based upon the one that sits in my living room, which I inherited down from my grandmother to my dad, and then eventually to me. And then, obviously, this is actually a frame that is around a picture in my living room, that's hand painted, that my sister had put around a picture that she gave me. And then, of course, this one is just imagination. Well, it's all imagination, really. So, anyway, so this is the one we're going to color in today, and I thought that we would not do that. Color, where is it? I had it marked there. I thought we would color this picture because it gives us a chance to play with some colors and stuff like that. I was looking at the front of this. Now, I am always amazed by the cover of the books. Let me pull you down here because I want to show you something. And hang on, let me grab my camera controls and see if I can fix the focus, please. I take autofocus off. Ooh, there we go. Let's see if we can hide that. Okay, see how here, now they did this with a, they did this with a fine liner. Now, and basically it's just little lines. Can you see that? I hope so. It shows better right there. They're just little lines, right? And you can see right here that they, lots of little stops and starts. So that adds texture to these leaves. And Mona, hi, you're in the car. Okay. Well, in that case, drive safe. Because yeah, don't be watching me when you should be paying attention to the road, honey. I would like to know that you are alive. Please. Yeah, I wish I'd had a chance to look at that, Louise, but she is such a creative colorist, and so much better than I am, obviously. And I love Chris Chang. I really do. I subscribe to her channel, but for some reason, the format that she does her videos in, which is the sort of the time lapse, I don't know. There's something about it that every time I start to watch it, it makes me go to sleep. So I need to find a way to watch her videos that makes sense. But they also, so obviously they colored that with fine liner. Then if you go up here, you can see they were playing with pencils. So this is obviously, this is, a wax or a oil-based pencil. So they show you a little bit about coloring with that on this. And, this is just straight marker of some kind. Obviously, this is as well. This looks probably closer to either watercolor or maybe even Derwent. Uh, again, experimenting with two colors on leaves and all of that. So you can, a lot of times, you can find a lot of hints about or get a lot of inspiration basically by looking at the cover. Well, Louise, that's lovely for you to say, and I thank you very much. But when it comes to coloring talent, I would say that we are all of us uh, just in admiration of Chris Ching, you know, and I think the collaboration that she has formed with Joanna in always, coloring her work and just doing such an incredible job. Uh, and we all learn so much. I know Sammy studies her. I know I do. There's a lot of us, and well, obviously you, all of us. Anyway, now I chose the Sargent Arts because they have a very pretty set, or a very it's a lovely palette, I guess. Now, once again, I think this is just regular 110 pound cardstock that I did the color palette on. So all I did is, of course, swatch. I am going to tell you that doesn't matter what set of pencils you want to swatch them out, because they're all going to be different, and their colors. If you are looking for a particular shade, you want a particular pinky orange, and you don't find it in your set, then you can turn to a different set that you have, if you have a different set. Obviously, when I have done my swatch book, excuse me, I've done it in order of stuff that I've received, of pencils and tools and things like that I've received. The only thing that's out of place is my ink tints, because I use this page so much that it keeps I keep destroying the page. So I have to disattach it and then move it back and keep moving it back, keep moving it back until anyway. So that's the story on that. But these are all my gel pens, this beautiful set of gel pens, which I could also use for this. As a matter of fact, that's probably not a bad idea to break out the gel pens. And hello, Corolla. And hello, let's see. Just trying to figure out, if I miss you, if I miss saying hi to you, I apologize. And to my lurkers, hi to you as well out there. I know you're there. I can see the numbers. Okay. So anyway, let's get coloring. How about? So how is everybody? Is everybody okay? Any news worthy of telling? Birthdays. Kim, hello, my dear. Nice to see you. And all of that. Now, the Sargent Arts, of course, come in this beautiful tin. I prefer to keep my pencils in tins where possible. This one has not a substantial, this one is pretty bad, but I use these so little because I am blessed with owning a number of sets of pencils. But I like the fact that the lid is attached, and I can put the extras or the other set right here, and it just becomes one sort of cohesive unit. Now the problem, of course, is that it's big. It means it is big, and so I have to sort of set it aside, or do this, take what I want, and then it'll fit up in the upper reaches up here. So it also, one of the things that also I wanted to point out, because a lot of your tins and stuff have color examples. They also have a little palette, not that it helps here, but because it just doesn't really help here. But it also shows different methods of coloring. So you can hatch, you can cross hatch, you can stipple, you can scumble, which is the little circles. You can do all sorts of things. Hi, Louise, and hello, Heather. And so Louise 1 and Louise 2, Louise D and Louise S. And he likes to talk right when you get in alive. Wait. Hello, Katie. Wave to everybody. Okay. Wave. Okay. So, all right. So just refer to me as Ladybug. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. So back to this. And I think most of your major pencil sets do have that feature. All right. So, well, I guarantee you that mine won't look anything like hers, like Chris's. But we will see what we can do here. And of course, I never know exactly where to start. So I think I'll just start with the house, I guess. And if that is the case, then I'm going to turn to my Sargent Arts. And guess what I'm going to start with? I am going to start with my probably my dark gray. And I am going to just do, because what have we learned over the last couple of weeks, right? We have learned about shading with colors and, or, sort of shading shadows. That's it right there. So I'm going to lay in just a little shadow. And I'll zoom you down here in just a second. Of this building over here. Now, shadows and things like that are one of the secrets to good coloring. And if you can learn to master your shadows, you don't have to use an awful lot of, you don't have to use a lot of pigment or a lot of, just make sure that we're in decent focus there. That looks pretty good to me. Yeah? Does it look okay to you? You've had this page as a work in progress for years. Okay. Well, in that case, then, it is about time for it to not be years, right? All right. So let's pick our major elements. Now, I've got light coming from, let's say it's going to be coming from over here facing this direction. So as if it's somewhere, I want the light to be somewhere behind this girl. All right. Thank you, Jack. Good. I'm glad, Kathy. Hey, if I can do anything to motivate people, then that is a job well done. I have one of the ladies that I play hidden seekers with thinks that I should be a life coach. I'm like, oh heck no. oh, oh no, 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 no. I'm like, just everybody try and look at the bright side of stuff. Uh, all right, so all I'm just sort of adding a little bit of shadow in, just to give some depth to this doorway, because it stands proud a little bit. Although exactly why the chimney stack is on top of the doorway, well, we won't even we won't even we won't even start to question that. If you start to question the logic of coloring pages, you may get stymied. So just don't question it. Just assume that whatever it is, it's okay. Yeah, the sun is slightly offset. So now we can just take a little bit of a lighter gray. We're going to come over it. Just sort of extend out that shadow just a little bit. Just blends off the edge of it. Doesn't matter if you're just going over something or not. You're going to put color down on top of this anyway. It's just a shadow. So we just want to make it a little bit fuzzier. Like maybe the sky is not, or the sun is not quite so bright. It's your story. You can tell it any way you want. Okay. So just like that. Now let's decide on a color for our little house. Now our little house is obviously made of something that's probably not wood, although it could be wood. If you wanted to, you could draw in some bars like this, or just some straight lines. You could make it wood. You could, in this particular case, I think I may do that. Obviously, I do not want to, because Eiry uses a toothpick to draw these books with, a toothpick dipped in ink. And so you don't want to start putting down a harsh black line on top of that, right? So instead, what I've done is I've taken the darkest pencil again, and I'll just add the hints of some boards. Okay, just to make that a wooden door as well. The eye is gonna pass by that. Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. We could, of course, do it in black, and maybe we will. Maybe we'll. Let's see. Let's see if we come down just. A little bit. Of course, it does take away from the fact that there was this sort of ornate, what do you call it? Hinge. The hinge. And hi, Nana Mo. And hello, Emma. And all kinds of other people that I haven't seen, although I can't pick out quite names. Okay, So now we can then pick a color for our little house. So what color should our little house be? Well, considering that it is in the woods, it's probably going to be a natural color of some kind. So let's try. Let's try a. We want it to be welcoming. All right, here's what we're going to do. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, right? It's going to be. All right, this is a peach, right? I believe it is a peach. Oh, yes. This is a peach. So I am going to start with a peach color. And I'm just using the weight of the pencil, right, to quickly lay in sort of an overall color, right? Doesn't have to be 100% ideal. Okay, that's stonework. So I know I want to leave that stone. So this, however, is the house. So we'll use this. This is just an underlayment color. I'm just doing what Sammy would call color mapping. Trying to play it with a little bit of color to see what we want to do. Okay, so then I can pull out the very, very light yellow as well. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so that is a pale yellow. All right, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this pale yellow here in the lightest parts where I think the sun would be hitting the house sort of full on, right? Also another just little bit of color. I'm going to leave that one because it's sort of over there behind the this tree, and even though the tree technically isn't that close to the house, see how my mind works? Is the tree too close to the house? Would it be casting a shadow? No, the shadow from the tree would actually be going this way, past the house, maybe hit the edge of the whatever. But this is the part that's going to be brightest right in here. Okay. Now we are also going to add, since we can, a tiny bit of this silver gray. Once again, I'm holding the pencil way back here, so I'm not, because Sargent Arts are highly pigmented. They're good pencil. I mean, good budget brand pencil. And so I just want to be sure that I'm not laying down too much pigment. So I'm holding it all the way back so that I can't put I can't put pressure down on it and get too much pigment. Okay, so there's that. And then I want to add a little bit of probably, once again, you'll think I'm crazy, but here it is. Which one do I want? Do I want maize or do I want yellow orange? Ooh. I think I want maize. Okay. Although they're both pretty. Yeah. No, you know what? I want the yellow orange, which is the lighter of the two. Uh-oh. See, I missed a shadow. So, here's what we're going to do. We are going to we're going to pull that out. By the way, when you use an eraser like that to erase pencil, be sure to clean it off on something before you use it again. Because otherwise you're just going to spread that pencil all over. Hello, Risa. Okay. You're going to lurk in the background? See you okay. Also, everybody, if and there's a bunch of folks who know, I have pretty much adopted Dee Dee's way of handling chat, and that is if it's directed directly at me, if you put it in caps, I'm a lot more likely to be able to pick it out. And here's the honest and true reason why is that my vision, it gets locked. And if I have it focused here and I look up there, it's all I see is a blur. And so I can read the big letters, but I can't read the little ones without moving my face over to the computer and putting my nose up against the screen. Which is pretty funny. And that's a function of age, by the way. So all of you who are young and don't have focus problems with your eyes or eye strain, anything like that. All right, so all I'm doing, and this is once again just an underlayment of colors. It's not our final color at all. Okay, so there's that, and actually I do want to I don't know. I don't like that. I was thinking that would be, obviously I'm trying to show you, well actually, that actually does work. Now that I look at it a little bit more. Although I don't know exactly where it goes from there because I can't really see what's behind the house just yet. Now, once again, like I said, clean off your clean off the thing so that you don't smear whatever the color it was that you had before. Okay. Against yeah, there's something back there. We'll color something back there. I don't know exactly what. And we'll put finish the shadow up there. Okay. So once again, now I'm going back to, this is the maze. So I'm going to bring it in a little more from the side. And this side as well. Just sort of bringing in a little addition. Sorry, a little addition of a deeper color. Now I'm holding it a little bit closer, but not that close. I'm just barely whispering it across right up in this area because I want this to be sort of the lightest. Okay. Now I can step it down into another shade darker. And I'm going to try the light brown. And now I'm back to sort of that whispering of just the weight of the pencil, keeping it a little bit closer over here. I have a little bit more control going this way, so I am down a little further on the pencil. So you just adjust your grip for the amount of control that you have. I don't know if that makes any sense. But if you're coloring, and I mean, colorists are divided into a couple of different categories. There are those who put a death grip on their pencils, right? You don't need to do that. Just hold it lightly in your hands and, just relax your fingers. It's also so much easier to color that way. If you get a good pencil that's got pigment in it, the pencil does the work. And so you don't have to bear down on it. It's just going to lay down a layer of color. And maybe that is the real key, is you have to, there's room in the world for every kind of colorist, there's for sure. But the layering, if you want to be able to blend colors and get subtle effects with colors and use light to your advantage, that kind of thing, then you need to learn to layer. And it's just the way it is. You got to learn to layer. Although you can come up with some beautiful things with just effects, obviously, as is shown on the cover of this. You can use different colors for different depictions, and we're going to try a little bit of that. Now, I don't have a super fine liners because I've never put them on a wish list because I don't really want them. At this particular point, it would just be one more tool that sat here that I didn't use. But if you like fine liners, those super, super fine liners, with the needle points, then, you could use those and just use lines. Okay, so a little bit more of that going on. And I'm probably going to end up darkening up those colors, but I do want to, all right, now this is the brown, right? Now I want the brown up here. Sort of full strength coming off the chimney. See, I'm going right over the gray. And so what that does is, because gray is a neutral tone, that is made up of generally, when you're experimenting with colors, if you mix two what are called, is it complementary colors, the opposite colors, you'll end up with either a brown or a gray. So if you mix red and green, which are opposite each other on the color wheel, you'll end up with brown. Okay, now I can use a little bit of light brown here. I'm using it a little bit harder than I did the other. Okay, and then this is the, oops, where is it? Maze. Oh. Well, we'll just leave that. No, we won't. We're just going to grab the maze. Okay. Maze is sort of a goldeny color coming off of there. Now those browns are not showing up very well. Excuse me. The other thing that's going on is I just hit my inhaler like maybe 15 seconds before I went live. So that, and of course it's breaking up all the stuff in my chest. So I apologize for that, everybody. Just trying to pull in. I want this to be just a little bit darker, but technically it's probably getting sun, although who knows. Might have tree shadows. But what I'm after is this sort of streak of light going on down here. I don't want to mess it up. There we go. That's a little bit better. Like I say, I cannot see anyway, so. Okay, so there's that. All right, now we can. Now, because I've got the orange underlayment and all of that yellow and stuff under here, this is going to show up just a little bit differently than the wood. So you can use the same colors and get different effects, just like if there are any bakers in the group, people that are familiar with baking, you know that using the same basic ingredients, which is flour, sugar, butter, eggs, milk, you can make all sorts of different things. You can make French toast. You can make bread. You can make oat. Not oat. You can make pancakes, French toast, cinnamon rolls. It's all the same basic ingredients, but you're getting all sorts of vastly different products from it. And what triggered that in my mind when I started thinking about colors that way was just a few days ago, my friend Elizabeth wrote put a post up on Facebook. It was one of those, you have to give up one of these things, right? And it said, you either have to give up pancakes, waffles, French toast, or cinnamon rolls. And I'm like, well, kind of the logical side of my brain says, why would you have to give any of those up if you've got the ingredients to make the others? But that would be logical. You know, nobody likes logical, Christine. Oh, we've got roses blooming. Katie, really? My azaleas are about to go. They're about to bloom. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to come back in with a little bit, and this is the other reason why you want to work with light layers is, oops, excuse me, is because this is, once again, now I've got the peach, right? Because you want to be able to do this. You want to be able to blend all your colors together without getting a lot of wax bloom and, you know, something like that. So one of the best ways to be able to do that is to always use very, very light layers. Okay, so that's just a hint right there. And, okay. That is the brush. Yeah, that's not, wait, it is actually, it is what I want. Just in some nice darker spots. Sorry, I've got all artist quiet on you here. Once again, just sort of going for the darkest spots. I'll leave that. Okay, now. Because there's a roof line right there, right? That's another shadow that I did not put in. We're going to see if we can get it to go in after the fact. And that is where the roof meets the under. Okay. We're going to go ahead and go black. Just a little bit. Because we left it so long. Well, we didn't. I did. Okay. No use in me blaming you guys. That works, yeah. Oh, Jack, thank you very much for that super chat. All right, in that case, have a wonderful day. Say hello to your beautiful wife, and yeah, okay. Bye, and bless you, Jack. Thank you very much. That is so kind of you. I haven't had one of those in a long time. Thank you very much. Made me cry. Okay. All right. So now I need to get back to this. I wish I was as organized as Dee Dee and could promise to send thank you notes and stuff like that. I am not, as most of you know. Okay, so I'm just trying to throw in that little bit of darker color here. Not, in straight lines or anything like that. More in, sort of random patches. Like up here at the top, it needs to be darker because you've got a roof line right here, right? So when you get close to the end, or where you're done laying down your color, then is when you can afford to get a little more heavy-handed with your colors. I'm going to just come around the top here from this angle so that because that's an even line. But if the sun is coming from sort of this direction, this side of the eave would be really short because the sun would be reaching in there close, and this side would be slightly longer but angled down. And a good way to do this is to go out and walk in your neighborhood if you have one, or drive, and maybe sit at a park or something and look at the houses that surround. Pay attention to where the shadows are when they are hitting that particular house. Okay, so this is back to the yellow, right? Because I want to add a final sort of glow. To the house. And it's a light enough color that you can use it as sort of a blender as well by blending all of those together. Okay. Now I can get burnt sienna. Light pressure. This part of the house can be much darker because, once again, it's sort of back here. Okay. Sort of back there in the, in the dark. And and now let's see, what do I want to do? Let's go with the burnt sienna again. We just want to get over here into these areas very lightly. This is going to appear dark because it's here next to our fireplace. As our fireplace or our stonework is Once again, stonework sort of floors me because why would the, and there's no break in the roof line. So that would drive me crazy. If I had drawn this, that would drive me crazy that I didn't leave room for the, I've got a fireplace coming off my doorway. That would make me go nuts. So there's that one. Just working our way down the lighter colors, excuse me. Okay, once again, there's a shadow that I missed. Okay, so there's that one. And there is the medium. Okay, and then the, oops. This is peach. Whereas I use the yellow as the blender over here, I'm using the peach over here because I want this to be, whoops. Is that okay, focus, by the way? I want this to be slightly darker. So now I can blend it all together. Back to the gray. Just for right there. Okay. Can blend it all together. Now we may end up making this a little bit darker, but for right now, I think I'm just going to leave it alone. See, where is the dark gray? There's the dark gray. The other thing I like about the Sargent Arts is that they're very straightforwardly named. Light brown, dark brown, medium brown, dark yellow, canary yellow, that kind of thing. Light yellow, pale yellow. There's no, there's no fancy names needed. Just sort of adding in a little shadow there for the fireplace. Probably add in a little purple for the fire or for these rocks. Just, add in a little bit of shadow around there just so it looks like something's going on. All right, now let me grab that. Right there. Come out of there. Thank you. Yeah. Stand up. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just add a little bit of purple, right? Because there's always a lot of purple in stone. You don't think that there's a lot of purple in stone, but there is. when you go to color it, you actually figure that out. There's purples, there's browns, there's all sorts of beautiful colors. If you pull a piece of flagstone and study it, there's blues, deep, deep blues, purples, all sorts of things. And all of those are keys toward realism as far as, when you're coloring something and you want to add, whoops, hang on, I'm trying to, sorry, gotta get the blue. I'm wearing my favorite spring thing. It means I can go out in the yard. My denim shirt, because it means I can go out in the yard and because it's got long sleeves and I can. Otherwise, the mosquitoes like eat me. It's because I'm so sweet, right? Yeah, got a bridge for you too. Just adding in a little bit of blue here and there. Because blue is a good shade. In fact, maybe our little house has some lovely blue woodwork. Notice I'm just going a little bit darker down there, lighter up there. Why not? It's got wood frame, blue framework. Just because the house is brown doesn't mean it has to be boring, right? Notice I'm just getting a little bit lighter there toward that center, because that is technically where the light would be hitting it. Okay. And let's see here. This would probably all be dark because it's coming off the chimney side of the house. Okay. Now, technically, those should be, because I'm trying to think if when you see the painted glass, are those white or are they? I guess maybe they do. I don't like that though. So I'm not gonna make the individual paintings. The thing in between, should it be blue or not? I don't think so. Here's what I am gonna do. I'm just gonna take a little light purple, right? And make that the initial panes. And I think I may leave that white. I'm just gonna, here's the thing is if I go blue now, Uh, might as well, right? In per penny, in per pound. Okay. That'll work. And here is a little purple glass. And I am just whispering it across the page. All right, and I'll whisper that as well. It is not nighttime, so that does not need to be on, although it could be on. In your world, if you want your little light to be on, that would be great. Jill, hello, my dear. Are you out of the hospital? Are you at home? Tell me you're at home. Okay. All right, now I've got the silver. Is that right? Yes. The silver. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, no, actually what I want is not the silver. What I want is a little bit more yellow. Say what? Yes, I want some yellow. Yellow here in the stones. Let's see, Robin. Exactly the same. I did a color comparison. The Supreme are a little lighter. Just your pressure to accommodate. Yes, they actually swatch the same. And the Scholar, yeah, the Spear Farben. They are essentially the same pencil. There has been a lot of speculation about that. And here is about the only thing that I can say is they all come from factories in China, so who knows? Bottom line, who knows? So you see, you can get this lovely rainbow effect on your, I realize that it doesn't really show that well on the camera, but you get this lovely sort of rainbowy effect when you use a number of different colors. And it gives your work visual interest as opposed to just, is it prettily colored? Yes. But is it interesting to look at? I think so. Cannot have. You simply cannot have anything but a red door. You got to have a red door. Sorry. It's my world, and in my world, you have a red door. What I want is a little bit of golden yellow. Ooh, golden yellow. Is that golden yellow? Now that's tan. That'll do. I just want to warm up the red door a little bit there to the inside. Alrighty, and this one's got to be red as well. And note, why am I doing it like little strokes? Of course, it's because I added the wood, the wood to this. And so I just wanted to not disturb that. So I'll just color down in between. And that door doesn't have to be perfect. That, you know, that's just that. Okay. So now we've got, makes me think I should have gone green on the roof. But there's going to be plenty of green in the trees. So now I need a dark okay. Second there, and adjust this and come down this side. This is the darkest brown. Well, no, that's a lie. This is the burnt sienna. There is I believe yeah, there's a dark brown as well, but this is the one I want. Okay. Then this is the brown. All right. And then this is the light brown. Now I'm just going to do the whole. All right, well, it could stand for a little more tweaking because look, what has happened is that I've completely lost this shadow, right? So when that happens, and it will, you will lose effects that you put in. You just put it back. Okay. And okay, well, you know me. You guys know that I'm gonna make a meal of these things when I set out to do one. Sorry. Hang on a second. 1 second. Oh, ouch. Let's see. No, I do not want to take your political damn survey again. People want to know if we want 45 back. It's like, oh, hell no. Sorry. As in 1945. No. Okay. All right, so there we are. I knew Melinda would get that. Okay. Let's see. I need one more. I got to add one more little shadow, guys. I'm sorry. There's one more little shadow here. Goes in on this side of the doorway. There is no detail too small. Okay. All right, that's better. Once again, it looks like a welcoming little spot, huh? Maybe, and maybe there is a nice bit of welcoming smoke coming out of the chimney. Let's see. Although why there would be, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not very good at that. Okay, so let's put some of these back in a semblance of some kind of order so that the next time we're looking for them, we'll stand a halfway decent chance of actually finding one or two. A yellow and another yellow. A red and a purple. Okay, gotcha. But I don't have any credit cards. Wait. Yeah, I don't either. Katie, that's something you and I have in common. Neither one of us has any credit cards. I am using, Katrina, I am using the Sargent Art, wait, what? The Sargent Art Supremes. Thank you. Sargent Art Supremes, the 72 set. And I still have something I got to do here. I still need to darken this up. I know it just needs one more tweak. Every tweak that you give it may lead, caution, tweaking may lead to more tweaking. Okay. Thank you, Katrina. Okay. This is the book that I am in today, by the way, for those who may be unfamiliar with her work, although I cannot imagine that anybody actually is. is Eiry, Eriy, and her first book, Romantic Country. There are two more books in this series, Romantic Countries 2 and 3. And yes, I do have them both. And yes, this is the only other thing that I've ever colored in here. And it is the one, it is, as it happens to be, it is my personal coloring triumph and masterpiece as far as when I was testing. What I was really doing was seeing if I could draw in this style. And the answer is yes. So I have to be very careful not to draw in this style because I don't want anybody accusing me of plagiarism or stealing ideas or anything else. So, all right, so now we've got that. All right, so we've demonstrated that in pencil. And since this is primarily a demonstration of how-tos, we could take our hand at doing something a little bit different. Look, this has been under the desk for a while, and when Kenny sent it, it was brand new, still in the case. Gives you an idea of A, how dusty my house is. Can I say I'm an artist? I don't even see dust. If others don't point it out to me, I don't know it's there. Okay. But that's why we have outside coverings. We have outside coverings to prevent, okay. So what these are glitters. They are amazing. They are bicolorate. Okay, and let's pick a couple of colors for, say, some of these flowers. So maybe a pink and a purple. So let's go with a, whoops. Okay. Once again, relying on the swatch book. Let's go with an amethyst, which is the C264. Okay, and a, let's see, that's the pink. And ooh, how about a cerulean? There we go. Okay. Took me a second to read my own writing. C252. They all have numbers, which makes them somewhat easier to find. Wait, what's going on with Joe? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll try this. Try this and see if it works. Now I've never actually used gel pens before to color with. I've only ever used them to do like little details with. Whoops. I'm gonna be zoomed down. And let's see. I need focus. That looks about right. Um, oh, okay. Well, Jill, I sure hope that you are on the mend. Are you done with surgeries now? Katie, is that better? Okay, yes, it must be. She said thank you. And actually, I think that what I may do is this. That one is blue, and so rather than make it purple, I want to make the other part of it glacier or glacier, which apparently is the European way of saying it. We would call it a glacier. I want a raindrop, 254. 254. So got to move this under where I can see the light. 254. Well, that looks almost the same. Okay, wait a second. I had cerulean. All right, so what I need is the glacier. Okay, so 253. Yeah, see that looked way too much the same. I want the lighter. There we go. That's better. Although this may border on boring as far as a color combo goes. But there's no rule that says we have to stick to it. All right, so this is just straight coloring it in, right? But we could do something along these lines and yeah, all right. I think that yeah, let's see here. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Sometimes I am just a goofball. Okay, so this is purple, right? Yes, purple. All right. And purple. And purple. And purple. Purple. And purple. All right, so this is these all sort of all colored in a solid coloring. Okay, then this is should be the cerulean. Yes, this is the cerulean, which was my original intention. My original intention was the cerulean and the purple. Kind of like that. After all, we are playing with colors, right? And just playing with coloring. And there's no rule about, mixing up your mediums. You can mix up your mediums as much as you like. Okay. Now here's the other thing you could do. You could, on a big one like this, you could use all three of these. So you know, there's just no rules that say that you have to do anything any particular way. So what I'm doing with this one is I'm just sort of counting off one, because each one of these seems to have three across. So I put it in the one spot there, the two spot here, and the three spot there. So, and that way it may keep them, because you know, I kind of do like symmetry. So there's that one. Then we can go with the purple or the amethyst. Now put it in the number one spot. And in the number two spot. And in the number three spot. And the one spot. My ladies from England, I know that Whitby is a real place. Is Aidensfield a real place as well? You know what I'm referring to this show that I have been binge watching on Brit TV, the YouTube station Brit TV. There's another one called Daisy Mason. There's another one called Filmrise Television, and all of that. Anyway, two of them have, I guess, the licensing for to rebroadcast these reruns of Heartbeat, which is a show that ran for 18 seasons, and so I'm right at season 7 where Nick is getting married for the second time, and I think we're gonna lose him from the series forever. But I was wondering, I looked up Whitby and found out it is a real place, but I have no idea about town names and quite how they work, or distance. Like, I don't know how far the constables would have to travel to get to Whitby. It never says. It takes 20 minutes to get there. Or all right, Aidensfield isn't real. Okay, thank you, Emma. Thank you very much. Okay, that's not a problem. I didn't think it was, but I wanted to find out. Only because in much the same way as they use, and I know the name of the actual coastal city. It escapes me right now, but I know which one it is that they used to shoot Doc Martin at. And then of course that whole area that gets used so much in Cornwall. We've got this one I love. By the way, this one I'm loving. This flower with the three colors. They call it Port Wen in this series, but it's actually called something else. I just thought that the Aldenfield Arms would be a great, or Aldenspiel, whatever. Uh, yeah, Whitby's in Yorkshire, exactly. It's out there on the coast. Well, they kept showing ocean, and I'm thinking, how does the ocean get on? Because for some reason, I thought that Yorkshire was was the one that was sort of right below where Scotland starts, but more central, closer to Wales than to the coast. But it isn't. It's the opposite. So it's got to be. I thought that they were opposite. I thought that the other was Lancastrian, but it's not. Never mind. I'll just shut up because it's not my country and I don't know anything about it. All right. I really like the way that one turned out, by the way. So the three colors for me, once again, and I learned this by, just sort of experimentation that, yeah, I'm sure that it was probably, yeah, it is filmed in a real village in Yorkshire, though. Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. I was just thinking that it would be cool to go visit that pub if it's still, obviously that show ran for 18 years. That pub is still bragging about it, whoever it is. Uh, or I don't want to say 18 years, but 18 seasons, because apparently a season in British TV can run from anywhere between 10 to 29 shows. So, like in season 1, there's only 10, but in season 7, there's 29, not 29. There's 29 videos that make up season 7. Apparently, a couple of them are specials that were done because they had to explain why Nick was leaving. Um, he was emigrating with his new wife to Canada, I guess. And boy, there was a bit of perfect casting. Both him and both of his wives. I like them both. Okay, Emerald. I want Emerald and Peridot. Emerald and Peridot. Ooh, pretty. Okay. And what I'm going to do with these is the leaves. So we'll make this one emerald and this one emerald. Or this is the peridot, sorry. I think. Oh heck no, this is the shamrock. This is not what I wanted, guys. Okay. Not what I wanted. But it'll have to work. So let's find out how to complement the shamrock. The shamrock and the, yeah, I think the emerald will be just fine. Oh, okay. No, we're going to do the peridot. And the reason is because it was I grabbed the shamrock instead of the emerald. Oh, I like that. Okay. And let's see here. Let's make this one the peridot. I love these glitter pens. Highly recommending the color glitter gel pens. And guys, they come with refills, with a whole pack of refills to begin with, and refills are always available for them. So Happy accident. Exactly. Yeah, I've so far I've been able to get away with a couple of those. All right. So play with your colors. Now you can play with, if you decide that you want to play with something like the stroke that you're using. So let's move down to, actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's see if there is, and it doesn't have to be these, but I think that at this particular point, I think it needs to be. I'm going to use, let's go with something that's big and easy to see. Let's try this one over here. All right. Um, boy, that is tough because there's no real good brown in there. But here's what I think we can do. Here's what actually, this is what I think we can do. Let's break out. Let's break out the, yeah, because it's not going to stick over that. Well, it will stick, but it won't be as easy. I'm trying to figure out, the problem is that there's never a good brown gel pen, right? There's, the best they can do is sort of a beigey, kind of a beigey gray. So we won't be doing that. What I was going to do is see if we could do a patchwork of, the sort of textury thing. Well, let's try it with a pencil. Let's try it with a pencil, okay? Actually, let's try it with 3 pencils. Let's try it with a dark brown, a light brown, and a, where's the dark brown? Okay, a dark brown, a light brown, and a medium brown, right? Okay, so we've got those 3. So if we do something along the lines, in this particular case, then we are going to work with this. Let's pick this one. All right, so this is the darkest, right? So let's try, all right, just little lines, right? So we'll just keep going back and forth. Whoops. Hatching and cross hatching. What the takeaway from this particular exercise is that there's more than one way to color. You can fill in colors, or you could just make little X's, or you could see, you could do anything that you want. And that is, once again, and I come back to this every time. It really is just a matter of being creative. You don't have to do it just one way. Everybody has an inner artist. Now, they're not all good at the same thing. Everybody's artist is going to be good at something. Maybe not the same thing. So maybe your art is like Katie, forming words into beautiful pictures, or into deep thoughts, or into or maybe you spin yarn, or maybe you whatever your art is, and then you just apply whatever that is that makes you creative in your other endeavors to your coloring. You're adventuresome. You try, you experiment with new things. You learn about your craft all the time, right? If you have, if you are somebody like Heather that does felting, she probably knows a ton about the different qualities of wools, and how they work, and all of those types of things, and so she can apply the knowledge that she has of fibers to any other artistic endeavor that she has. So if you are a knitter, for instance, I'm a knitter, then you can make little patterns. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. Now you could just leave this like this, right? Because otherwise it's a very cool tree. Okay, all right, Corolla. You have a good sleep, and may your dreams inspire you, honey. Always, always. And give Baloo and Gizmo a cuddle. And say, their Auntie Christine is very glad that they're there for you. And for those of you who may be wondering, Coriander's picture, the diamond painting, is in a position on the wall, facing my computer, where I can look up and see it anytime. No better than to say it. Stop already, Christine. Okay. So, there's just all those different ways. I mean, I just colored that, and it's got texture and all of that. Oh. What? Why are you laughing at me? What did I do? Uh-oh, Kathy's giving me brown and orange, and her or did you like the way that tree turned out? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Black eyes. See, Kathy, I know that you put enough thought into your emojis to know that each one of those means something, and I don't know what. And so I always end up having to guess. Oh, talking to Baloo and Gizmo. Oh. Well, I hear they like to watch me. And my little Coriander. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's actually, she sends her love. She says hi to everybody. from Little Kitty Heaven over the Rainbow Bridge. Yeah, let's stop talking about it. All right. So now we could also let's do a possible here. Let's do a possible. Oh. We could give Cosette a little, yeah, Josette. No, that's Josette. I don't know. Is she Josette or is that Josette? Does anybody know? Yeah, exactly, Melinda. Yeah, Barb, I really do. I mean, thank you so much. Barb Zenger, everybody, is the one who ordered who and she grabbed a screenshot of the picture that is on my phone that I used that I posted in a lot of different places on social media, and she ordered a diamond painting for me of my sweet coriander. And the picture, by the way, if you want to see it, is in the if you go to the community tab in my on my channel, it's there from a message a couple of months ago or however long ago it was, last month. I made an announcement when I lost her, and and it was so sweet, and it arrived, and it almost didn't arrive. It almost didn't arrive because my post guy had thought he was doing me a favor. He put it under a bush next to the front porch where I couldn't see it from the front porch because I only ever peeked my head out, grabbed the mail out of the mailbox, and then, tuck my head back in. And so I actually had to go outside and look at the front porch from his point of view. And I immediately saw it. So yeah, it was out there for what, 3 days? Something like that. Anyway, I'm just glad I found it and that nobody grabbed it. Nah, I live in a good neighborhood. People don't have, I mean, it's not a good neighborhood. That's just it. Oh, I got to air before we go. I'll tell you the story because it is actually time for me to go. There is a channel that I listen to. You guys know it is called Beau of the Fifth Column. Now, love him or hate him, Beau is to me is a hero in a lot of different ways. One of the things that he does is a lot of relief work whenever there is disaster, especially in Florida where he lives. So he told a tale. He did a video a couple years ago called "A Tale of Two Neighborhoods." One of them, he was doing relief. He went to a neighborhood which everybody said was a neighborhood, was one of those neighborhoods that if you were white, you had to avoid because, it was dangerous at any time of day, let alone after dark. So he's out there. He's got his kids with him, right? And he's delivering aid after a particular hurricane. He was bringing formula to a mother who was in need. And he, of course, he entered this neighborhood. He was stopped. He had his 2 and his 4-year-old with him. And the guys who stopped him, were all basically armed and, and thought at first to give him a hard time until they found out that he was there. He was they called him the formula man. He said, "Is there anything else I can do to help you?" And all of these guys, without having to ask anybody, they knew every kid in the neighborhood. They knew all their diaper sizes. They knew who needed food, who needed formula, who needed toddler mix, who needed this, that, and the other thing, right? So on that same journey, he delivered more aid to a neighborhood, not a gated community neighborhood, but a nice neighborhood. And he found the address of the place he was looking for. So anyway, he took the orders for the stuff in the bad neighborhood and was able to fulfill their orders in 10 minutes, right? Cut to the next neighborhood, which is the good neighborhood. He gets out of the truck to walk something up to the door, and the first thing that happens is a guy runs out with a shotgun and says, "You loot, we shoot," right? And nobody had cleared the roads, whereas in the bad neighborhood, all the roads had been cleared. You could see the debris was piled up on the sides of the road. Nobody had cleared the roads in this good neighborhood. He got out with a chainsaw and went to, chop up a tree, and a neighbor came out and helped him, but then said he hadn't wanted to come out by himself, right? This is a good neighborhood, right? Didn't want to come out by himself because he was frightened. So the tale of the two neighborhoods is which one is really the bad neighborhood? I would rather live in the one where people know who I am, they know what my needs are. I would feel much, and like he said, he felt much safer even with his kids in the bad neighborhood than he did in the good neighborhood, where here's some old quacker coming out with his shotgun saying, "You loot, we shoot." So anyway, and it just reminded me, especially with all the stuff going on in the world and in neighborhoods and in places like Chicago. Unfortunately, here we go again. That we should all be aware of who our neighbors are, what their needs might be, and the guy didn't. The guy who we loot, we shoot, didn't even know that his next door neighbors were starving to death with no food, no water. So, be the kind of neighborhood that you want to be. And in the meantime, gonna stick to Canada. Yeah, I don't blame you, Kathy. Actually, although things are getting much better here. Things are getting much better here. By the second, things are getting better here. Everybody, I hope that that at least there's sort of three different ideas for you on things that you can do. I really love the way that this little house turned out. I suspect it'll need to be darkened up and continued on as I add colors around it. I think it's probably going to end up fading into the background. But I do love sort of the happy accident on the glitter gel pens. Love those glitter gel pens. And I really kind of like just sort of a little experimentation with that to show that, that there's a lot of different ways to color. There's a lot of different ways to get texture, the imagination of all of that. So, and thank you once again to Jack for the super chat. That is always appreciated. Those of you who would like to contribute to the coffee fund, I do also have a PayPal. It's somewhere down there in the description. That happily goes to things like the stuff that I would want instead of the stuff that I need, or the stuff that I need in the event there isn't anything I want. But in my head, I spend it first on things I want, and second, hopefully, on things I need. If the one out, never mind. Okay. So, till we meet again, what are we going to do? And we're going to do it, hopefully, in one of my books. We're going to find something and we're going to color it pretty. So, everybody, thank you very much for, look, it's me. I did it. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. And till we meet again, color something pretty. Bye. Melinda, thank you. All my moderators, Katie, Kim, everybody, thank you so much for being here.